Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be doing a sort of quick comparison review, not really a full review, but we are going to be taking a look at the two new Optimus and Megatron More Than Meets the Eye Gamer Edition figures. I originally was not going to pick these two up because I already had the original releases, but after seeing the difference in the paint jobs, I changed my mind. Especially for Optimus, because I feel like his really stands out a lot better. But yeah, we will get into that. So here we're just going to take a quick look at the boxes. We got that red, black, and gray artwork for the Target exclusive lines. We got our let's do it this way. Got our wraparound on the art. Then we have our mug shots on the side, our product shots on the back, and that's probably enough packaging. And the instruction booklets. And yeah, these are not new figures, so I'm not really going to go into too much detail there. And we'll stand you back up because you are just falling over a whole bunch today. Come on. So yeah, so here are the new More Than Meets the Eye edition of these figures. And yeah, they are very much a visual improvement overall. They did add a lot more paint detail. They also do have some battle damage. And personally, I think Megatron does not have enough, whereas Optimus has a little too much. I kind of wish they had been a little more even with the amount of battle damage paint they put on. And the thing is, like, most of Optimus is like on his shoulders. You can see he has like a ton of silver paint on his shoulders here. You got a little bit on the chest. And I don't really think we got too much on the legs anywhere. And I don't really think there's any in the vehicle modes. I think the vehicle modes are still pretty clean. They did sort of make his axe a little nicer with the paint on that. And I did grab my other ones. So here is the original release. One of the big things you're going to notice is he has the black windows instead of silver like he did in the game. And he does also have little bits of energon lining on certain parts, like he's got some pinkish red here on his inner calf, as on his chest. He actually does have it on his face plate as well, whereas if you take a look at this, you can see that those parts are just not painted, and he only has the silver windows. But yeah, I kind of wish that they had gone a little less heavy on the shoulders and maybe put a little bit of paint on like his kneecaps and stuff. But it is what it is. And again, you can see the axes. The axe is just completely outshined by the new version. Instead of this sort of like pale yellowish color, they actually did a full copper color. And while it was a bit more reddish in the actual game, I still think that this looks fine. But yeah, I think this just, like, it really does not hold up, especially compared to the new one. And just for one other comparison, I do have my other one that has the DNA kit. So, and I don't think they've reissued this kit, or if they have, I don't think it was changed at all. Because there's not too much difference between the two figures. It's just, mainly the paint difference. But I'm probably still just gonna keep this upgrade kit on him since I already glued the heel pieces in. So, but I did want to just give you a quick visual comparison there. But now let's look at Megatron, and we will bring in the original Megatron. And you can sort of see that he looks a little different as well. And you can see that he has some little splotches of silver here on his shoulder. And I think he had a little bit on his legs. I'm not really seeing it now. But yeah, I feel like they just did not give enough battle damage paint to Megatron. I could have sworn he had a little on his legs, but maybe I'm just imagining that. Yeah, like there's not really much on this arm. There's a little bit here on his chest, but it's just like these little bits here. Whereas Optimus, his like shoulders were covered in silver paint. Well, not really covered, but it was very noticeable. He does have a gunmetal for his fusion cannon now, as opposed to the black for the original. So there is that. And the mace is now fully painted with a metallic purple rather than just a flat purple on some of the upper spikes. So yeah, that obviously looks much better. And he also does get some energon lines. The original one actually does have some of those as well, but they did use a bit more of a metallic purple on the new version. So, because you can see that he does have the purple there in like his chest, but this one's a bit more metallic, so it does pop a bit better. He also has silver paint on his kneecaps, whereas these are just sort of, I think that's a little bit of gunmetal there on like the front piece right there, yeah. Whereas these are inverted, they have a silver on the big spike piece. Also, the inner leg is painted silver, whereas this was just left that flat gray. So yeah, they have a lot more paint, and these guys are still at Target. They're these More Than Meets the Eye figures have kind of just been hanging out there, and I think it's a little bit of a shame because I think that they really do look better than their original releases. But again, a lot of people have the original releases, so they probably don't want to bother shelling out for just a new version. That's an issue mine has. Also, I think this one has a much more secure arm joint, so that definitely helps. But yeah, those are the main differences as far as the More Than Meets the Eye version versus the original releases. It's pretty much entirely visual, but it really does make a difference, you know, when they actually add a proper amount of paint, because that's not a complaint that everybody has about, you know, figures these days, is that they don't have enough paint. But it is one of those rare chances where we do get figures with more paint. The only detriment to that is that these figures are a couple years old, so most people already have them. I'm pretty sure they've already been reissued or like repacked once. So, you know, most people have them already. But yeah, if you're looking to get one that has a little bit more paint on it, that looks a little better on the shelf, these are definitely worth getting. But again, the only difference is the more paint. They have not really changed anything. Like Megatron still has his little anti-knee pieces. I haven't clipped them because I don't have a proper pair of clippers right now. I only have fingernail clippers that are way too small. But yeah, the molds are exactly the same. They just have better paint. So yeah, maybe sell off your old ones and get the new ones if you want, but that is really a personal choice. Again, like I said, I wasn't even planning on getting these until I actually like saw them and got a feel for how much better they look. But yeah, we'll see if I keep the old ones or not. But overall, I do think that these ones are definitely an improvement, even if just a little bit. But that's really all I have to say for this little side-by-side review. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. And this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.